I was asked recently about some border ideas where you have the raised border in between patterns, stamped ideas. So I thought I'd explore that a little bit. Now, I must tell you, no preconceived or pre-planned borders here. I thought we'd just wing it. I'm not a perfectionist, so it probably won't be perfect. But this is about sharing ideas and giving you some jolts of concepts that can be used. So I've pre-drawn the lines parallel with a pair of these guys. So that's what I've got there. I have also cut most of the lines with a swivel knife. Just this last little piece, and now you must forgive me because the light's on the wrong side. Okay, let's see if we can just get it slightly better. There we go. It's just this last piece of the line. Okay, there we go. Swivel knife work done. And then you've got a choice of a few bevelers to use on these lines. So one obvious choice maybe is a smooth beveler like that. So it's just a long beveler to do long lines with. The other one is using a checkered beveler like that, which will obviously give a pattern on the line. And the third choice that we're going to play with is a figure carving beveler. Now this figure carving beveler gives a wider bevel, where if you really look very closely to what I've got here, you'll see that there is a line almost there where the beveler end, where the beveling ends there, and some people call it a beveling halo. So if you use a figure carving beveler, you can even lean it back to obliterate that ridge there, that edge. So that's a possibility, depending on the effect you want. So as with everything else, you really need to test what you want to do beforehand. Test it so that you can see if you're getting what you want. Okay, so here we go. Let me quickly just bevel this one edge here, which I've not done. Basic rules, beveling. This tool can never lean sideways, never lean backwards. It's not a figure carving one. The figure carving one you can move back. But a normal beveler you can only keep totally upright, or if you want a steep bevel you can lean it forward. So there we go. Edge is beveled, right? Now, a lot of beveling edges are not really very perfect, so if you really need to, have a look at what the edge looks like, and you can possibly just lightly smooth it out with a modeling spoon, just so that you make sure the edge is not doesn't look too bad. Okay. What I've done with the one at the top is I've used a hair blade tool, and with that I simply scratched like the line on the side so that it's got a bit of a texture. It all depends on the effect that you want to achieve with this. Okay, so let's start. Now, the reason why I did this one edge textured and the other one smooth is that depending on the project, I might want to leave this side completely as it is. So all the border really starts with the raised edge, the raised piece there, and this would be background or just whatever else is in the project. Okay, so there is now many options. I'm just going to play around with a few of them that I pulled, few tools. So this little guy, let me make a single stamp of this. There, that's what it looks like. Alright, so now that gets repeated all along that line. This way, so I hold that against the line, make a good impression there, and the closeness that you have these stamps to each other, for me, is personal choice. I don't like them overlapping, so I make them just touching, and as I said, that is completely your choice. Obviously, if the inside of this project was a background texture or something, these guys would overstamp that so that it really looks like the background is disappearing behind them. So there we go. If you put them further apart, that's also a possibility. And you might say, oh, well, maybe that looks meh. But now you can play around with something. Let's say where I've left them a little bit apart, put something in there. And it makes for a different border. So the sky is the limit. With the possibilities that you can do here, the sky is absolutely the limit, and it's up to your imagination what you achieve. I do like thinking outside the box with these things. For example, I bought a stamp from James Linnell recently, and that's the stamp there, giving you a shield-like dragon scale effort or whatever. So that would have been what I would have gotten if I used it as intended, as designed. But I haven't tried this before. Let's see what happens if we use this guy as a border tool. Okay, there's possibilities there. So I have leaned it back in this case. I think that's how the tool was purposely built. But I can also, let's say, lean it forward or upright. Let's see what that does. There we go. Not bad at all. Probably better than the one that's leaned back. Those came out a bit better. And of course, again, you have a whole host of open possibilities here to take this a step further instead of just leaving it like that. For example, let's try my number one favorite tool. This is a triangularly shaped figure carving Beveler F910. Okay, and so what its single impression looks like right there. But it must be the F910 one, the one with lines on. The others are usually not that nice to use. But okay, so what I'm going to do with this guy is put it right in between. And I'm leaning it a bit so that it just makes a sharp impression. And because it hasn't got the same shape, I don't think that's too effective. Nah. And that's why I say test it. I don't like that, so I'm not going to use it like that. Then, but you can, again, where's that small little C that I had? You can probably do something like this. And now the whole effect changes and it makes it pop in a different way. So there you are. There's two possibilities in the way that you could do it. Okay, so I prepared another two small pieces, and this time I made them small. Not ideal for stamping, but I want to be able to turn them around and still have this camera focused on them. So let's get the two just damp again. Okay, now let's see. There's as I said, think outside the box with what stamps you use. I had another one that is maybe slightly more traditional for border stamps. Let's try this guy and see what it looks like. Totally upright will be better on this guy. But I do see, well, the line is still there. And obviously the raised line will be there, but it's not as if it meshes in too well with the beveled edge. So, of course, this is with this type of thing. If you do a mirror image on the other side of the line, like this, you can run this on the middle of a belt, down a belt as a pattern, or possibilities are endless. The choice is yours. So yeah, that one I wouldn't pick again. I'm not too crazy about this one. So let's try another one. Let's try, this one was sold originally, if I'm right, for doing beveling around a certain letter set. But think outside the box. Use it for other nice things. Okay, and that is rather nice for a thin border. I like this one. That's giving a nice effect. look at that. Nice small little scallops. So this is really nice. Okay, one other suggestion, you can, when you make samples like this, put a hole in one end, string it up, hang it in your store somewhere for you to look at examples again later on, or to be able to show to customers and say, hey, do you want your guitar strap to have this on? Which of these do you like? Which appeals to you? And then you can use that for them. So there is that. That's what it looks like on both sides, or just on one side, depending on your project. Okay, so move on to another one. This one. Let's use this one. This is a Midas tool from New Zealand. A really nice line of tools. I'll show you what a single impression looks like. There it is. So let's see what this does. Put it next to the border there. And there's another border, neatly done in its own right, and which you now can decide to fancify any way you want to. Anything can be put between them. Let's put something like this between there. See how that works. That's also nice and effective. There we go. And so on. As I said, the possibilities are endless. You can simply do whatever you like with these. Test them, see how they work out. Okay, let's do a quick few other ones. Here I also took out this stamp. See how this one was going to do. That's it. Its impression there. Sorry, can't get it closer. There we go. And let's see how that does. There it is. So first, almost touching each other. Maybe try it slightly spaced out. There we go, and I can probably go and do something funky between them as well. Let's see, this one. Nah. Well, maybe that trusty old triangle will do a better job here. No, I don't think so. Okay, maybe we should just leave that one as is. Oh, but hang on. There is the possibility inside that tool Don't forget that. You can always maybe do some